Hi everyone, I did come back and say I'd show you how to use the Milliput. Now this is the standard Milliput, and inside the box you get 2 tubes, and it's just like putty. But what you do, which I'm just going to share, because I want to be able to make things, moulds. So this is a little bit cheaper way of doing your moulds, because Milliput, I got this in a little, an old shop that I don't know, it was like a really old bric-a-brac shop, a guy that sold everything. You need to put these 2 together. So what I'm going to do is to cut this to make sure that I've got the same amount. I'm going to do that much, I think. Try not to cut my mats. Now I'm not sure, it should work, and you just got to mix 2 bits together. I'm not sure how old this is because I've had it a while. And you just mix it all together. It goes hard eventually, but you've got to mix it well. Till it all becomes, you know, like one colour, basically. So I'm just mixing it, twisting it. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that becomes one colour and mixes really well. So I'm just twisting it all different directions. You get a couple of hours drying time with it. Oh, I've got it on my ring. That's it, I think. So I'm just going to do that and press it down, because what I'm going to try and do is I have this. Now I'm going to take the arm out. It's just like a little plaque. It's a door knocker, basically. And I've broken the bloody thing off now anyway, but thank God I've got a spare one. But it's this I'm interested in, is this. So what you do is, you take that, and I'm making a mould. Now, I'm just going to use my hammer to make sure I get everything in there. Like that. Now what I'm going to do is, because I don't want to waste any of it, I'm going to cut some off because I don't need that. As long as I've got the piece that makes the mould, I'll be fine, and I can still use this for something else. I'll just push that down a little bit. It goes rock hard, so I don't need all of it, and there's no point in wasting it when I want it for something else. That'll do. That will make my mould, and I'm just going to take that off there. See, now look at that. But don't fuss, don't worry about it. It ain't going to make the slightest difference. I'm going to do that. Make sure it's all pushed back out the way. That's flat. I can still cut a little bit off. Oops. I scratched my mats. Don't forget we do sell these mats, ladies and gents. And they're really good quality ones. Right, so now I've got that. Just going to roll it, because I want to do a different one. And I'm just going to spread that out. To make a frame sort of thing. Alright, let me just do that. I have a rolling pin somewhere. Oh, I'll use this. You can use a rolling pin, but I have this. So I just want to flatten it out slightly that way. Okay, might be a little bit too short. And I've got this frame. So it needs a little bit wider. Because I don't want it so that it's too big and too thick. What I do want is to make sure that when I pop it on, to a project, when I've made the mould and put my stuff in it, I have enough depth. I don't want it stuck out. I don't want it too far from the deck up. So I just want to make sure I've got the mould that's in as far as I need that to go. Now I'm not sure if I can push that out just to show you what I mean. See, that will make that mould. I'm going to leave mine in until it's dried. Like that. And just leave these in, make sure they're dry, nice and neat. But that will give me the mould that I need. Now, I'm not going to waste this because I've got another one here. So I'm just going to cut this. I've got a couple here that I want to do. So I'll just do a couple at a time. I mean, one at a time. Just twist it and knead it, twist and knead. That's all you have to do. There we go. Hopefully that'll come off. It should do. Scrape it off. See, like that. So it's all basically one colour. That's not bad. I think it'll be fine, that. Right. So I'm going to roll that out again using this. Let's just see. Oh, this one, I think, to make the frame. I think that will do. That's better than hammering it. Never mind that bit, I can cut that out. Let me just use my... I don't want to cut it out yet, silly. I've got to be able to pull it out though when it's done. Just do that. That should be fine. And like I say, that will give me enough pressure that when that's done, it'll leave an imprint that I need. And I'll have a frame thing that I can use my... It's like this. Let me have a look. Have I got any here? Like this. You know, when I'm using the light and fluffy modelling paste, and I only, because it's only light, you only need a small amount of this. You know, and I can just pop that in there and get the shape, and then I can paint it any colour that I want. So that basically, that's all that's about. I just want to be able to make the mould, but use Milliput if you can get it, because it's a little bit cheaper than buying that, the two, you know, in the bottle, the little cup things you get. I know that when I tried buying that, it was £8–9 for a tub. And it's expensive, you know, not everybody's got £8 and £9 to spend. And for what it is, you can use this sort of stuff to make a mould. The only thing is this does go rock hard, where the other one's a little bit more flexible. Yeah. So, like I say, you can use Milliput to make moulds. So, try it. Just trying to give you cheaper alternatives for doing the same thing. I will come back and share this with you in part 2 when this has dried. And if it hasn't worked, tough. It'll be tough, won't it? But it should. I have used Milliput before. I forgot all about it, to be honest, because it's an old time thing, isn't it, that people used. Right, so I think that's about right. So I'm just going to move this out of the way and we'll do another one. Roll that off like that. Peel it off the roller. There we go. Make sure it's wide enough for the frame that I've got. Like, ooh, not quite wide enough. These are only thin plates. Look, there's nothing much to them. But it's nice when you've got them and you can use them again and again if you can make your own. Now, I'm not fussed about these bits around the edges. Just cut that off. Your moulds don't have to be anything perfect, you know, just a set amount of putty. You can do them as thick as you want and whatever you want. Like that. They'll do. Not going to hurt it being close to the edge at all. And look at that, hardly wasted any. That's it. Hardly wasted any. That's it. So, and that's given me enough to do something else. I've got a smaller. Now let's just have a look, see what else we can do. Now, let's have a look. What else? Oh, we can do let's try a diamante. Like a flower centre or something. Because that's going to be easier. Isn't it? Let's just try something else. Right, I've got that. I mean, this is way too big for that. So I'm just going to cut a piece off. I'm just going to press that into it. Like that, and let that dry. Forgot to point on that. Let that dry, and that's I can make another one and then I can paint them. Let me just see what else I've got. I've got that one. Oh, and I've got a flower. Look, let's just see what happens. Yeah? So, just do that. Flatten it. Put that one on. Now, I'm going to lift that up and push that into the flower. And then push that down. I'll leave that like that, I think. I'll flatten that a bit. And push that into there. And I can continually, if I run out, I can continually make them. Just going to leave them now. And I'll be back tomorrow for part 2 and see how it works. Bye bye for now.